This is Feminine Features. The main purpose of this show is to discuss chick flicks. I'm Anne Sully Sullivan.
I'm Jenna Morrissey.
I'm Windsor Jewell.
And this week we saw 9 to 5. In order for you to enjoy and understand this podcast, we recommend that you watch before listening. But if you haven't, here's Jenna with some background and a brief synopsis.
Working 9 to 5.
What a way to make a living.
Damn straight.
True.
It's
Okay,
just
not
true.
gonna help me out there. Gonna help me out. All right, that's fine.
We established earlier in the podcast, I can't remember lyrics.
Right.
I know what a way to make a living.
And then after that, it's.
I just sang it for you.
Yeah.
2 seconds ago.
Yes. Hey, I like the song a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It's iconic.
we can't all
Sure.
be perfect, I guess.
Too true.
And if that's your only flaw,
It's a specific flaw.
I guess I'll
Comes
have
up
to
a
live
lot.
with it. I'll have to live with it. I
remember,
don't like
like-
it. I don't like it one bit.
I remember like everything else, so it does bother people. You're not the only one.
Okay.
This week, we're doing 9 to 5, directed by Colin Higgins,
Woo.
and the screenplay by Colin Higgins. And
Shout out to Colin
Patricia
Higgins.
Resnick.
Woo!
Patricia.
Yes.
Shout out to Patricia
So,
Resnick.
this movie stars Jane Fonda
Woo!
as Judy
Yeah.
Burnley.
Yep.
This is an all-star cast here,
All-star.
folks. Next up,
Some
we
of the
have
best.
Lily Tomlin
Oh.
as Violet Newstead.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Dolly Parton as Dora Lee Rhodes.
Ow. Ow.
My God.
Sorry. I just had to.
Auga. Auga.
Yeah, we love her. But and sorry, I didn't mean to objectify her. I just find her so inspiring.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Radiant.
She's lovely and absorbing in ways other than physical.
Yeah,
you
of
know?
course. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I don't really even think about her like that, but
Oh,
it
that's
felt
nice.
warranted in the moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
I completely understand. The awooga is towards, her as a person.
Yeah.
respect for her as a humanitarian.
Yeah.
her philanthropy work. Oh god.
Yeah. I feel the same way.
Look at those giant educational donations.
Yes, we love her.
Yeah, she's great.
Uh-huh.
Next up, we have Dabney Coleman as Franklin M. Hart Jr. or Fahart.
Home.
I liked when they called him Fahart.
First shot, his ass looks fantastic.
So true. So true.
Didn't see that one coming.
I like that his wife loves him.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun.
I like how much they're like, it's not her fault, but damn, does she love him?
Yeah.
You know, they're like, this dumb motherfucker
I know, they're like, she's a
loves
lovely
Dabney
lady.
Coleman. Yeah. Poor woman is stuck married to this son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, since we're talking about her, we have Marion Mercer as Missy Hart.
Woo! Great
The
performance.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Sterling Hayden as Russell Tinsworthy. He's the chairman of the board.
Yeah. One of my favorites.
Looking like Colonel Sanders in this one.
Ooh, yeah, looking like a whole snack. Yeah. Looking like a whole 10-pack of wings.
Not even what I meant by that. He's wearing a white suit and
No,
has a
he
goatee.
literally looks like Colonel Sanders.
Yeah.
In this
Yes.
movie. He's one of my favorite actors. He's just always a wacko. And when he's young, he's hot. In the 1950s.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, we have Elizabeth Wilson as Roz, the office snitch. So, for the summary, I have a quote from your mother, actually, because we watched this with her. And she said, "No line in this movie is wasted. Everything comes back."
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like so much in this. You know, my summary can only cover so much. Watch the movie. It's iconic. I just hate your mic. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
All right, so it is Judy's first day working at Consolidated Companies. What do? Don't ask.
I was really thinking about it because we covered these other working women films, and I was like, they're pretty clear about what the companies do. This one, I think they do shipping.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There's some sort of logistical work because eventually Dabney Coleman is trying to commit fraud by having a warehouse filled with fake goods.
Yeah.
So some type of seller and or shipper.
Yeah, that's what I think.
It very much reminded me of How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying
Yeah,
with
you're
the
right.
Worldwide Wicket Company.
Yeah, more
do
of
they sell wickets?
Yeah, Hudsucker Proxy type. This is the company that does
Yeah.
company stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. But it's Judy's first day working there after divorcing her husband. She's never had a job before. This is her first job. She meets her supervisor, Violet, who has been working there for 12 years, and learns that she even trained their boss, Mr. Hart, in the company's management program. Violet introduces Judy to Dora Lee, Mr. Hart's secretary, and tells her that everyone thinks they're having an affair. They are not, critically. So Violet plays nice, quotes around it, for 6 weeks because she's up for a promotion. But then she learns that Mr. Hart has given the promotion to a man who has been there 5 years less than her.
Is it Bob Enright?
I think so.
Such a good loser name.
Yeah.
Just a fucking guy name.
Just a guy.
Yeah.
It's just a guy. So she flips out at him, and when Doralee hears the commotion and comes in, Violet accuses the two of them of having an affair, and Doralee is shocked to hear that everyone thinks they're fucking because Mr. Hart is telling everyone as such. And she storms out. And then just after this, a woman is fired for discussing her salary in the bathroom. And Judy leaves to tell Violet, and the three women meet at a bar downstairs to commiserate, and they end up back at Doralee's to smoke the joint that Violet's son gave her. Beautiful moment.
One of my favorite scenes in any movie ever.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And just the scene before with her son being like, "Mom, you deserve to get high," and she's like, "You know what? Just slip it in my purse." I was like, "That's a beautiful thing."
Good kid.
It's the only scene he has in the movie, too.
Yeah.
Which is just so funny. Like, she has a supportive family, and the only thing they do for her throughout the film, the only time they're a problem throughout the film, all they do is give her the skill to operate a garage door opener and give her a joint. I like that. A useful family.
Absolutely. So when they're hanging out and they're stoned, they each tell the story about how they'd get back at Mr. Hart. So the next day, Violet goes out shopping on her lunch break to pick up stuff that she needs at home, and also more skinny and sweet for Mr. Hart's coffee. It's sweet and low. And she accidentally grabs the yellow Rid-O-Rat box, rat poison, instead, because the boxes look exactly the same, except Rid-O-Rat has a skull and crossbones on it. And she puts that in his coffee, which is what her dream sequence was the night before.
Right. She had a Disney animated dream sequence where she has a little poison in a ring and puts it in the coffee. It's all you skipped right over. All three of them have extremely stylized dream sequences of killing Dabney Coleman.
Yes.
In the first 25 minutes of the movie.
Or just hog tying him.
Or just hog tying him. That's right. But of course it's foreshadowing.
Yeah.
So she puts the rat poison in his coffee on accident.
On accident.
And he doesn't get far enough to drink it because his broken chair gives out and he hits his head and he passes out. So then Violet learns that he went to the hospital, and as she's packing up her stuff, she discovers her mistake, which has her rushing to the hospital with Judy. Turns out Mr. Hart is perfectly fine, but due to a series of circumstances, the ladies think he has died.
He's sharing a room with someone who does die, and they don't see him leave the room.
Yes.
And then they see the reaction to the person dying.
Yes. So they think he has died. So then Violet ends up stealing the body that they think is Mr. Hart.
Whom they killed with the rat poison.
Yes.
She killed.
Who they think they killed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who she believes to be Mr. Hart, and she puts the corpse in the car. And then they're driving around erratically, and they get into a car accident and discover that it's not Mr. Hart's body. And they somehow get this corpse back into the hospital.
After getting stopped by a cop.
Fine. After getting stopped by a cop.
Hilarity ensues, although it is quite morbid.
Yes. So the next day, Doralee, Violet, and Judy all freak out when they see Mr. Hart at work because they still think he's dead.
They think he's dead and they grab the wrong body.
And they go into the bathroom and they talk about what happened the night before. But Roz, the office snitch,
son of a
is
bitch,
hiding in the stall with her feet up, taking notes on the toilet.
Just like a snitch.
Yeah. Fucking rat.
So she reports this back to Mr. Hart, who then tries to coerce Doralee into sleeping with him as blackmail.
Yeah.
Says he'll call the cops.
I like how the movie really highlights he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because the first time he attains any sort of power over all three women, he ignores the other two, and it's just like, fuck me, Dolly Parton. Because what he wants to be is a rapist.
Yes.
And that's his goal throughout the film.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't feel that bad for him in the subsequent section.
No.
You really do not.
And they're pretty nice to him.
They're extremely
nice
polite based on the scenario.
Cigars.
Yeah, he's watching
Cigars, magazines.
He's been
Days
tied
of
up
Our
by
Lives.
3 beautiful women watching Days of Our Lives in his bedroom all day, smoking cigars. He's living my dream life.
Yeah. Windsor said, how much do I have to pay to get 3 women?
To get those 3 women to tie me up to a ceiling.
So Dorley reacts to this, blackmail by hog tying him. She like rips the phone out of the wall, hog ties him with the cord. Judy comes in, undoes the knots, but then holds him at gunpoint and shoots at him in the office. But it's like 5:02, so everyone's gone.
And there is never any reaction to gunshots.
No reaction to the gunshots. She does break the glass and we see it's replaced the next day. So the girls end up hog-tying him again and throwing him in the trunk and holding him hostage at his house because his beautiful, loving wife is on vacation. So while he's all tied up at his house, Violet and Judy discover he's been committing fraud, but they can't get the paperwork to prove it for 4 to 6 weeks. So they upgrade his restraints to a complicated system involving Violet's garage door opener that allows him to roam a little bit. He's not just tied to the bed.
And bondage gear. He's got a studded collar. He's got some butch collar studded.
Because it is for dogs.
It is a studded butch collar for dogs. I believe they're at a sex store.
Are they?
Yeah.
No, I might
no,
have
it is actually supposed to be for dogs.
I thought they were at a
hardware store.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it certainly looks.
Based on the look in my life, I just assumed
it certainly looks like
they
that.
were for sex work.
But there was a when she pulled it off the rack, it had like a dog logo.
Yeah, I thought it was a tongue-in-cheek, like Tom of Finland type dog, but I guess that was just my imagination.
Yeah, I don't think they're like. Well, I don't know. I don't go to sex stores often enough to make a judgment on whether or not they're doing that kind of joke.
Certainly not familiar with the type of queer sex store work available in 1980.
That's true. Romantic Depot looks nothing like that.
Exactly. But either way, they got him in a dog collar.
Yes. So while he's out of the office, they send Roz away. They open a daycare. They allow people to decorate their workspace, and they start a flexible hours and job sharing policy.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Woke.
also equal pay. They sent out a memo. Everyone has to be paid equally now. Look at that. So Mr. Hart's wife, Missy, comes home early and frees him of his restraints. But he tells her that it's just a new workout program he's doing, and he sends her to a hotel and pretends nothing has changed so he can begin to enact his revenge. He gets rid of the proof of his fraud by putting the products back in that warehouse, and he brings the women to the office at gunpoint, where the elusive chairman of the board comes to visit for the first time. Violet says earlier in the movie that she's worked there for 12 years, never met him. So the chairman is so pleased by the 20% increase in productivity in the last 6 weeks that he promotes Mr. Hart to a position that requires him to go to Brazil for 3 years. So the girls take this as a win. And they celebrate with champagne in his office. And the ending title cards reveal that Violet gets promoted, Judy marries a Xerox representative, Dorley quits and becomes a country singer, and Mr. Hart has never been heard from again after being abducted by a tribe in Brazil.
Just a little racism at the end.
Just a little, yeah.
Just a touch.
But he's presumed dead.
Right.
And that's the movie.
Which he deserved.
Yes, he certainly did. I think that this is about teamwork.
Yes.
It's very funny they get into it because Mr. Hart at the beginning, he says, if there's a word to describe my philosophy of business, it's teamwork. And so it's like, okay, yeah, there's this idea of teamwork. Everyone will talk about, everyone will go on about it, but like, what does that actually mean? And I think Violet puts it really well when she says, I'm your employee, and as such, I expect to be treated equally and with a little dignity and a little respect. So yeah, I think this movie's really getting in on like, yes, there is like a hierarchy structure in jobs, but you are a team, and like the only way to succeed as a team is to, treat each other equally. and see this as like a joint effort. Yeah. So, you know, I think there's a lot of ways that they show this throughout the film. Mr. Hart definitely doesn't understand it at that beginning. He is like, when I ask an employee, especially one who wants to be promoted to management, I expect a little cooperation.
Holding it over her head.
What an asshole to hold it over her head and then not promote her.
I know.
Yeah, and he knew he was never going to.
I know. Yeah. I mean, sure. Yeah, so annoying. But yeah, I mean, like, I think, you know, this gets into like equal pay and like flexible hours and like all these things that like are actually very helpful for employees to like be more productive.
20% increase in productivity in 6 weeks.
Don't doubt it. I do not doubt it.
Because people are happy.
Because people are happy. Yeah. Yeah. And it's just like, yeah, if we actually focus on the goal, which is productivity, and not just like enforcing these like stupid rules that don't actually like help us at all, we can all work as a team. Yeah, and like obviously this is like viewed through this like feminist lens in this film. You know, they're talking about how she trained Mr. Hart. She trained the guy that got promoted over her. And when she brings this up to Mr. Hart, he says clients would rather deal with men. And it's like, okay, well,
I mean, they say point blank. What is the quote? That he's a sexist, egotistical, lying, hypocritical bigot. Yeah, is what they call him over and over again.
He is,
and it's just like so clear how he is each of those things.
Yes, totally. Yeah, she says I lose a promotion because of some idiot prejudice. And then at one point she says, "Oh, we are in a pink collar ghetto," which I thought was really interesting. And I looked into, I mean, like pink collar is a term for, did I write down it? Nope.
Like women's work.
So it's like typically like things in the service industry or like administrative work, like secretary work. And it is also defined as like jobs that like aren't necessarily don't have a lot of opportunities for like promotion and like are underpaid. So this is all within this definition of like pink collar jobs. Apparently it first came up in 1967. William Jack Baumol wrote an article, Macroeconomics of Unbalanced Growth, the Anatomy of Urban Crisis. Okay. But then it became popularized right before this movie came out in 1977 in Lewis Kappau's book, Pink Collar Workers Inside the World of Women's Work. So I'm just like, wow, this is like so topical, and like to use this term and to like really go into like, what does a job like this look like? How could we improve it is so huge. And like to just like, I mean, yeah, I mean like teamwork's important. Like you should respect people equally. Absolutely is a takeaway that you should have from this movie, but also just like, yeah, like we should treat people equally, treat people well, and give people tools to do their job well.
Yes.
And like that is actually what teamwork looks like. Yeah. I think it's, you know, also interesting. They had a character at the beginning of the movie when Judy got hired. He was a black man, and he said, how am I ever going to get out of the mailroom prison if they keep hiring people from the outside?
Yeah, and he doesn't come back.
They're not getting into it in that way. And there are plenty of black women who work as secretaries. But it is like, okay, yeah, like this is a lens that we're looking at women in the workplace. But like there, you know, there's, when we're talking about teamwork, it is really like a conversation about like, okay, how can we help everybody? Like looking at everyone, not discriminating. And so I like really appreciated that line.
And at the end of the film, when they go into the office and they see how it's changed since the women have taken over, it's incredibly diverse.
Yeah.
They have a guy who's a double amputee in a wheelchair working there.
Yeah.
Like, and you can just see how it's beneficial. All of these, not beneficial to the people who already worked there and the people who are like to come, you know?
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, you know, there's when you're talking about like her not getting promoted, it's like, yeah, there's a loss of incentive to do well at your job if you are not getting a promotion, if there's nothing for you to get out of this, you know? Like, why is she running to do his errands if she's not going to get promoted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like how they cover that it's not just the lack of promotion, it's the fact that she's doing the errands in the first place.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
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 And she's the senior supervisor of like the whole floor.
Yeah. And she's getting him coffee.
Yeah.
It's like, don't you think she has better things to do? Every time she picks up the phone, she has to have 3 people on hold.
Well, what I love is that her and Jane Fonda are their own secretaries.
Right.
And that's why they do that whole segment of her being like, Violet, blank, please hold, Violet, blank, please hold. And then, hello, Violet. Blah,
this is
blah.
Violet. Yeah.
Yeah. And I really like that just... it's all this assumptive sexism that exists. Like, they wouldn't have secretaries; they're women. And then, like, the obvious dichotomy is not being expressed by those who do the hiring.
Yeah,
because they're entrenched white men.
Yeah,
you don't even think about it.
Yeah,
and the whole floor is like women. The whole floor.
Yeah.
Besides Mr. Hart, you know.
Yeah. So I do love when they're in this heist all of a sudden, I think Judy says we're all in this together, and I just love how quickly these women come together. It's basically one drink and one smoke, and they're like, I will help you cover up a murder.
Yes.
And I'm like, incredible.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Women are amazing.
I mean, you don't think twice about it.
No.
What I love is the amount of, and this is sort of a wider discuss just in the themes of the movie. But they are so against him, so unified, so understanding of each other's struggle, with getting way less sexist, fucked up material from Mr. Hart than we would consider necessary to have the same character in a movie today. I just feel like we are such in a place where we have so many people who are prepared to fire their employees for sharing salary information that, like, you could not even portray somebody as being evil on the level of that being equal to what he does to Dolly Parton.
Is that not completely illegal? Was it not illegal at the time?
Oh, it's not illegal. It's standard practice.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, workers don't have rights in the United States, you know, and this movie is about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's about what needs to change, what did not change. And it is extremely jarring to see just like how sexism is portrayed today in film and how unrealistic it feels and how truly realistic this feels.
Yeah.
And how it's considered, I guess, a tame production. Just like this concept of that's of the time. That's the time period.
Yeah.
Everybody who was working in 1980 is old now. You hear them tell a story where they were being sexist. You go, wow, that was back then. They knew it was bad then.
Yeah.
This movie came out. And it's just good to think about just how culpable even these considerably small actions are. Something is not better because there's something worse. And these women are ready to cover up murders for each other because they're mistreated at work.
Yeah.
That's enough. You know, Dolly Parton's biggest problem with getting sexually harassed is that she's being mistreated by her boss.
Yeah.
Because sexual harassment is so common and they're in a rape culture. And that's not what this movie is about. But, you know, it's important.
Kind of is.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's actually a sequence about, you know, that. And it's very heartwarming to look back at the past and see it be so prescient to today and concerning to see that today we cannot speak as openly about these problems at the office as we did then.
Yeah. I think, you know, by the end of the movie, we have the chairman of the board show up, and he's talking about, you managed to create a very, very splendid environment here, very livable, very personal. He says, you keep the crew happy and you can't go wrong. And it's like, okay, yeah, he gets this like teamwork thing that we're going over in this movie. And then he says that equal pay thing, that's gotta go. And you're like, okay, so like, this is something that like still the bosses are not going to understand. It's like, yeah, team, like, the way that companies are like designed is like to incentivize you to get to the top and then not care when you get up there. You know?
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I like it as a moment that we don't get in Working Girl.
Yeah.
When there's a similar character.
Yeah.
Of like, this is entrenched. This is systematic. Like the sexism is not just Dabney Coleman's choice. Although I like how much the movie puts him at responsibility for his actions. But it is the culture that they work against every day.
Yeah.
And I like that the movie really highlights that. Like, it's not just Dabney Coleman.
Yeah.
Even though this guy sees the benefits, you know, it is all about enforcing that hierarchy.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he sends Mr. Hart to Brazil and he says, teamwork, that's what it's all about. Go where you're most needed when you're most needed. So I appreciated that, like obviously Mr. Hart doesn't want to go, that like it ends up badly for him, unfortunately. And
the chairman like comes in and is like, this is all great, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then he kind of does something that feels like the opposite of what he just said, like forcing him to go to Brazil.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's reflecting that his boss is making him do shit just like he did. And I like
just like he did.
The intersectionality of this movie while staying so focused on the issue of sexism.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that what we kind of got to towards the end was that teamwork equals unionization.
Yeah, they never said anything about unions, but it felt very like we were unionizing in a way.
Yeah.
Without actually doing it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like these are the things that a union would ask for. So, you know, it's subtle. They have like some talk about unions at the beginning. Roz is like, we have to cut this union talk in the bud. And it's like, I hate this bitch.
It's just clear that the bad guys are anti-union.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's
they
real
always
life.
are.
Yeah.
In real life, yeah.
In real life, yeah.
Especially in the year 1980.
If you want to watch a movie about unions, watch Newsies, directed by Kenny Ortega.
Yeah. or Coal Miner's Daughter, but also Newsies. Yeah.
And then you can watch the pro shot of the musical. They're both on Disney Plus.
Okay. Well, that's everything I have on themes.
Okay.
So, what this movie meant to me, it meant to me Lily Tomlin, Dolly Parton, Jane Fonda.
I mean, of course.
I wrote down Dream Blunt Rotation.
Oh my god.
100%. And they do.
Did it.
And they do.
It.
If only we were there.
If only we were there. You know, Lily Tomlin's a lesbian. Love her for that. And
famous, very famous.
Lesbian. Great. You know, who doesn't love Dolly? Who doesn't love Jane? They're all great. Also, when they're driving around with the dead body in the back seat, it makes me so upset that cars don't still have bench front seats.
Yeah, you can only have two up front.
I know. I was thinking about the three of us driving around in a car.
That's what you can get. The big, but instead, like moving trucks have that.
Well, hey, maybe we'll do that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but it makes me upset that we always have to put Windsor in the back.
Well, today
with the furniture,
we were his parents drove us back down from Albany today, and it was me and his dad up front, and then Nancy and
me
you
and
in
my mom in the back. Yep.
On both of your separate computers.
Yeah.
Incredible. That's what I got.
I haven't seen Dolly Parton act outside of Hannah Montana. I had never seen this movie before.
Okay.
So I was thrilled to see her. She was great. What I was really thinking about while watching this movie is we're all really cool about taking guns to work.
Yeah.
That was just like my main takeaway, because they do the whole dream sequence where she's like shooting at him in the office. It felt a little Yellow Jackets, gotta bring it up.
They hunted
they were
him.
all like hunting him through the office. And I was like, okay, well, that's a dream sequence. And then they actually pull out a gun and shoot at him in the office and have no consequences. And I was like, cool. Awesome. America.
I like that guns and weed are on the same level of danger. If weed is not considered more dangerous in this notoriously liberal film.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, this was kind of reminding me of How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, and also kind of Thoroughly Modern Millie, just because these are two shows that I did in school, and both have a lot of talk about like secretary work. You know, How to Succeed has a whole song called A Secretary Is Not a Toy, where it's about like, fellas, you can't sleep with your secretary.
Come on, boss.
And it's a whole song. And when we did it at my high school, they cut the number.
Why? You gotta know that a secretary is not a toy.
I know. A secretary is not a toy. No, my boy, not a toy. That's how it goes. And then in Thoroughly Modern Millie, Millie is a stenographer. I don't think she's technically a secretary, but she has the phone and stuff. And there's just a whole song called The Speed Test, where it's like how fast she can type the letter that he's dictating to her. Mm-hmm. So at one point, Mr. Hart is like, Dora Lee, take a letter. And I was like, to a Mr. John Hudson, Hudson's Floor Wax. And I remembered the whole thing, even though I did it a long time ago. And so I was just thinking about those.
Yeah.
And then one thing that we were talking about your mom with a bit was just like the tech like changeover in this movie. Like this came out in 1980. And the reason they can't get the invoices for 4 to 6 weeks is because they're like transitioning to a computer-based system. So we were just talking about that and like how that works. You know, when we grew up in the 2000s, you know, at first there weren't cell phones in movies, and then 5 years later there were. Yeah. And like in Working Girl, they have computers and stuff that they're using that they don't have in this.
Yeah.
So that was just interesting to chat about.
No, that Xerox machine is crazy.
Xerox machine crazy.
I think about that all the time. When I'm mad at the printer at work, which barely works. Once a day.
But it works. Yeah.
Sumner was like, that's just got to be a comically complicated prop, right? And I was like, I don't think so.
No, that is accurately what a printer was like.
I think everyone knew what they looked like.
Yeah, I mean, it was a job to go and make copies. Like that was a process that was an organized part of your day. And it's so common that we're going to get people listening to this older than 30 that are mad I'm saying it like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this is what the office was. This is why every office you ever worked in is a little empty. You know, where there's places for the secretaries to sit.
Yeah. It's just such a way that the workforce worked that it just doesn't anymore.
Technology is entirely 180 flipped on its existence in our lives, and yet this movie is so prescient and accurate about the workplace and how work runs. And
it was how work ran pretty much until like the tech revolution or whatever. Because How to Succeed in Business came out in the 60s. Thoroughly Modern Millie came out later, and I'm thinking of the musical. I don't know the movie, but it's about the 1920s.
In the 60s, it is like kind of the tail end. These 80s movies are the tail end of a workforce style it's developing from like the beginning of the 20th century. And so like the whole secretarial form and concept is really only extant from like 1910s to the 1980s, but still, I mean, that's a massive period of time for actual work style culture. But you know, it is something that constantly changes. That's important to remember at a place in time. It's something we don't make too many movies about. And so I'm glad that we get these movies about feminism of the period, because they highlight work culture and at all, which I think is something that we constantly need to make media about because it changes so often. You know? And is so important to the general population.
And like the work movies we've covered have all kind of been from like the 80s this season. And like trying to think of more modern work movies, I'm like, The Devil Wears Prada. Like I feel like there's not as many anymore.
We're not doing the same. Well, I mean, you know, it's certainly we're not covering the same themes, because it's not like, whoa, women in the workplace. It's women in the workplace. Like what I was thinking about when I was watching this was Legally Blonde. Where it's like how sexism shows up differently in like a professional setting.
Totally.
Yeah, and I feel like it's about these exceptional jobs or about people that are higher up in a company, which is kind of where in the 70s, unusually turbulent period in the United States, an unusually economically bad period of the United States. And so these movies are more open about work, unionization, shit like that, than they were beforehand in the Hollywood boom or afterwards in your kind of post-90s. I mean, like Office Space is about, or those kind of like slacker comedies are about actual workplace dynamics, but those disappear as time goes on.
They turn into TV shows.
That's
why we have The Office. Right. That's why, everything's a fucking workplace comedy now.
Of what these movies are like and what makes them successful is just like what The Office turned into.
Yeah. Everything's a workplace comedy.
Yeah.
Yes. And so you want your workplace comedies to be accurate. So when you watch them later, you're like, oh, that's what work was like.
Yeah.
So criticize if they're not.
Yeah. That's all I have.
It reminded me, stories from my mother, less so than Working Girl, just because she was not working in the year 1980. Love Lily Tomlin. I think this movie is really inspired by Laugh-In, which she was on, and it's very sketchy.
It is.
Very openly funny, and just so to her type. Like, her character is so complete, so quick, so funny. And like, for such an over-the-top movie at so many points, because of the dream sequences, because of the surrealism, she is so cold, dry, and like earnest.
Yeah.
In a way that's almost like against the tone of the movie.
Yeah.
And you like almost wish it was like a Lily Tomlin vehicle that they had developed, even though it basically is. You almost wish that they had gone further into her personality for how they styled the movie, because she's so good.
I want to know more about her life. She's got 4 kids, and her husband's dead.
Right, and she's a
and her
lesbian.
kid gives her pot.
This is a lot of information for one person to have.
Yeah.
Jane Fonda, of course, good friend of hers. They made a lot of movies together. Made their TV show, Grace and Frankie. And I was a big fan of that. I watched 80 for Brady in theaters.
Yes.
And I was just a Lily Tomlin fan as a kid. Good TV.
Yeah, we all love Miss Frizzle.
That was her?
Yep.
Come on.
I didn't even fucking know.
Come on.
I didn't even know.
Just one of those types that resonated with me as a kid. She's just so knowable, so funny, so straightforward, and like a timeless stand-up in an era of wildly unfunny TV. So she really does stand out. And I just love that element that came to it, the kind of star power that she has, using her star power, to notably liberal activist people, Dolly Parton, Lily Tomlin, and Jane Fonda. There is a message to this movie. They are using their parts very successfully. Dolly Parton's first movie, she's fucking incredible. I mean, we talk about her a lot in the Steel Magnolias episode, but truly, just especially for a first movie.
Oh my God, I lied. I've seen Steel Magnolias.
Yeah, we did Steel Magnolias.
Well, I don't think Jenna was here for that.
I wasn't here, but I watched the movie on a road trip so I could listen to the episode on the same road trip.
And thank you.
Jenna's our biggest fan.
I was your biggest fan, and now I'm here. So I'm sorry I lied earlier.
I mean, she's better in Steel Magnolias just because she's had a couple of years. But already, keeping up with just 2 of your most involved actresses, 2 of your funniest actresses in Hollywood history. Jane Fonda at this point was an established star and takes the least funny role of the trio, Brave. I just loved it.
Yeah.
This is like fucking shark bait for me.
Blood in the water.
Blood in the water. Funny women at work. I'm like, drag him.
Windsor likes a movie about women in their 30s. Shocker.
Yeah, right. 30s, 40s.
I don't even know what
where they smoke weed. I'm like, damn, they're so human and going through so much.
I was talking about
just like me for real.
They're just like me for real.
I think Dolly's 36 in this movie. She's 80 now, and it came out in the 80s, so
1980.
Yeah. So is that math?
34.
Good? 34. Oh shoot!
Damn, she looks really incredible.
Good. Yeah.
Sorry.
She does look good because also
not to be Awooga again. Great philanthropist, great actor in this movie.
No, but yeah, I mean, women used to look older. I don't know what happened with that.
I know what happened.
They had to invent sunscreen. That's right. So she does look great for 34. I mean, she would today, but
yeah,
she certainly did
she
back
looks
then.
great for 80.
Yeah. What else? Anything else?
Great movie. Watch it. Unionize. Fuck the boss.
Hell yeah. But don't fuck the boss.
Fuck the boss if you want to, but not because you're being coerced.
Yeah.
Or that you want a promotion.
Yeah.
Hogtie the boss.
Hogtie the boss. It is the transgression that he makes would not be enough for a movie to release his transgressions for a boss to make today. Even a TV show a la The Office. Dabney Coleman would be a redeemable character after multiple seasons.
Yes.
And do I think we need to kill those who oppress us in order to achieve liberation? No.
Thank you for asking the question, though.
But is it just nice when it happens?
Is it good to watch in a movie? I think so. Especially one so tongue-in-cheek like this, tongue-in-cheek.
And we don't watch him die.
And we don't watch him die, and they don't kill him, and they don't want him to die.
Yeah.
They just don't want to have such a shitty fucking time at work.
Yeah.
And if you can't get that through your thick skull, we're going to have a montage of hunting down and killing Dabney Coleman.
Yeah. Well, when we did our women's action movies series, I talked about how action movies are often about like fantasizing about violence and like how do I fantasize about violence? And I think this was a great example of how women do fantasize about violence
through the lens of justice.
Through the lens of justice for the people who deserve it and in like kind of a silly, goofy way.
Well, that's how it mirrored my fantasies about violence, which are inherently funny.
Yeah.
Kind of a coyote, wily, roadrunner type of
the
violence.
act of violence as a punchline.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I never succeed in my violent fantasies. Which
well,
I think says more about me. But I appreciate this movie.
What are you gonna do with all those anvils?
No, literally, yeah. Like I'm always the one falling off the cliff.
Just don't realize that gravity exists. That's my advice to you.
Thank you. I need that.
Yeah.
But I really appreciated the cartoonishness of their violent sequences.
Yeah.
With literal cartoons sometimes.
With literal cartoons and also literal bodies sometimes. It makes this movie like edgier than you would think for a structured sketch-esque comedy of 1980. Just like they didn't know where the walls were on a comedy like this. And so they're like, yeah, we're going to be doing dead body bits. And you're like, that's a lot braver than you think it is right now. Like later on, that will seem a lot braver. But I liked it. I
know, like even going through the summary, it's like that all seemed very serious.
Yeah,
it
wasn't. It's not even like a part of the movie.
No, you could cut it and it wouldn't matter.
And so I just love that about this movie. It's like they didn't even know to make it restraint. In the parts they knew not to make restraint, they are very thorough about. Like this is what we want. This is an image for the future. And in many ways, I mean, we'll talk about the impact. I think it was. Like more so than Working Girl, which is not a movie that made a ton of money. This is a cultural touchstone.
It is.
And like there is no doubt that the public saw this movie, felt fired up by it, and wanted to see that reflected in the workplace around them.
Hell yeah.
I mean, you get anti-sexual harassment trainings today that seem like they were written by the team coming up with how to describe a bad boss in 9 to 5. Like literally, it's like this is the exact shit that was wrong that we are told when we get hired at new jobs. Don't do that shit we used to do. It was all wrong.
Yeah.
I think this movie's incredible and impactful in a positive way to the working environment of the United States.
Yeah. All right. Let's hear what the critics thought. We have Roger Ebert. He said, a good-hearted, simple-minded comedy that will win a place in film history.
Simple-minded?
And place in film history. What in the words he uses? I mean,
he was right in the last part there.
The most talented comedians are not the people directing and writing the movie, which I guess makes it a little bit simple-minded to Roger, but everything else involved is of top tier.
This is a manifesto.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The best talents of the screenplay are not necessarily in its jokes. That's left to the talents of the performers. But I think what I would call it not simple-minded, because the most important things to the screenwriter are like the actionable items of how the workplace needs to change and what sexism looks like.
Yeah. Roger, he loved Dolly in this.
Yeah, no shit.
He said, a natural born movie star, a performer who holds our attention so easily that it's hard to believe it's her first film.
Aw.
Yeah.
I think she holds her own.
She does. She really does.
And it's really unbelievable. Dabney Coleman working his hardest. This is his best movie. You know, she's really in there with people that are funny and being funny and also playing this quite earnest character.
Yeah.
Yes.
In a way that kind of undercuts the funniness. That's a hard thing for a movie star to do. And I guess maybe that was her instinct. And it's great in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. He says it has some very funny moments, and then it has some major ingredients that don't work, including some of its fantasy sequences.
Those were fun.
It's a little not like how you normally structure a movie.
Yeah, it's
but
true.
That's good.
It keeps the movie from flowing, but it catches your attention. And maybe there are a variety of ways that movies can be structured.
Yeah, and I think.
I mean, we just did Romeo and Michelle, and they had similar.
Yeah, I literally thought of that. Yes.
Yeah.
In its sketch comedy background. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's what makes the fantasy sequence work. And so maybe Roger doesn't see the connection to an extant form of media, but I am very familiar with sketch comedy and improv, so
yeah,
works for me.
Also, sometimes it might be a threat, like equal pay or I'll hog tie you.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I think we should just like make some people think about if that's a possibility.
Yeah, hell yeah, and I think that's the energy we've lost.
Yeah.
In similar media today.
Yeah. Okay, Roger says the movie exists in the tradition of the 1940s screwball comedies. It's about improbable events happening to people who are comic caricatures of their types. And like those 40s movies, it also has a dash of social commentary. So I just thought that was interesting, especially since we did some screwball movies last season, just to like kind of look at this through that lens.
I would imagine that Jane Fonda is thinking of Katharine Hepburn.
Yeah, I can see that.
In her type of buttoned up.
Sure.
And I think it's important for us to look at Katharine Hepburn's high class characters as if they were more of these mid class types, because that's how the actresses saw it, and that's how the audiences did at the time. These were the only people in front of them, so they thought of them as normal everyday people. So Jane Fonda is taking that type of character and putting it into more of a middle class background and not losing any of the typing of that, comedy, Yeah. It's just as much a Katharine Hepburn piece watching her fuck with that copier. Very physical comedy, very 40s.
Yeah.
That's true.
George!
Literally.
George, the copies! Yeah.
But instead of, and I think it's important, why more than I think it's just a dash of social commentary, is that instead of it being like, oh, look at this rich woman not just having a problem, you're like, oh, fuck, she's going to get fired.
Yeah.
And it totally changes the dynamic for the audience, but keeps I think it makes it funnier.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I think there's a lot of humor and truth.
Yes. And more relatable. Most of us are not fucking around in a slapstick situation while our rich husband is standing nearby going, oh, darling. Usually we're like at work. And we're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That's a more relatable experience.
Okay, we have The Guardian, Peter Bradshaw. This is a 2018 review. He said, from the perspective of today, 9 to 5 is a fascinating time capsule of the wage slavery and sexism of its time.
Yeah.
9 to 5 looks fiercer and more wayward than, say, the later Working Girl, 1988. And unlike that movie, it did not feel the need to balance the female characters with emulant male romantic lead.
So true. Like, Dolly's married this whole movie, and he's in a scene. And he makes
passed
her
out.
He makes her feel better at one point.
Yeah.
He cheers her up, and that's it.
Yeah. And Jane Fonda's husband shows up, or ex-husband shows up.
Ex-husband.
And she's like, you gotta get out of here.
Yeah. He just sucks. Yeah. And then Violet's husband has passed away, and they don't talk about it that much.
Yeah. I'm not into M&M.
It's so good. I talk about things that feel prescient.
Yeah.
It's just so impressive. And the difference between Working Girl and this movie feels more radical, which is surprising for the prior film.
Yeah.
And Working Girl covers a very specific situation of being somebody who's trying to survive, who is beautiful, who is an executive, and who is using that sexuality in order to maintain their job and standing and status. And, it's a difficult situation. It's one built from a sexist hierarchy and one they're forced into while that effort is invisible. And this movie is about the rest of us.
Yeah.
Who are not going to be doing all that shit. And we're not born rich or gorgeous.
Yeah.
Have strapless bras that are physics defying. You know, like.
And thank you for bringing that
is
up.
for the fucking rest of us who just have a husband at home.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
Yeah.
Just don't try to fuck us. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know, like this is, and that's why it feels more radical and more true to life, despite Working Girl being very earnest and straightforward about a very specific type of situation that people were put into in 1988 and being truer about work in a broader sense.
Yeah.
Sure.
But this movie is so relatable to every day. You show it to anybody and have them be like, yeah, that relates to me in my life. Any woman, certainly to today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. All right. He says, of the three, probably only Tomlin is really convincing as an office worker. Her face is a hilarious mask of satirical detestation.
Truly incredible to think of a time when there were people we could not imagine as office workers.
Yeah. What is he talking about?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I think she is playing like the office worker, whereas like Jane Fonda is like, I'm the new girl.
Yeah, newcomer, wearing bright clothes when everyone else is kind of in neutrals. But then you meet Dolly Parton, who is also... And where did we... This takes place in L.A.?
This takes place in Los Angeles, yeah.
This takes place in L.A. And Jane Fonda... I was surprised to learn Jane Fonda didn't just, like, move into town.
No, it's the divorce. Well, I like the divorce plot.
It's the divorce.
Very first Watts
Dolly
Club.
Parton very much feels like... I mean, she's got her Dolly Parton accent, so like she's very clearly moved into town at some point.
Yeah. I mean, like even Dolly, like you know, she's Dolly. It's a little hard to see past that, but also like I'm like, yeah, she's like the person at work that everyone thinks is sleeping with the boss. Like, yeah, I buy that. Like,
just because she has big boobs.
There is the thought.
Yeah.
To relate to Working Girl in the phenomenons covered in that film, there is the thought that she is advanced as a secretary amongst the secretarial pool because she's so beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
And because she's so unique. Colorful clothing, Texas accent, gun in her purse.
Yeah.
And then and
one way to get promoted. Just saying.
I really like how this movie is like, don't hate the hot woman.
Yeah.
You know, just because she is the object of the leering of your boss.
And that's kind of the Legally Blonde of it all too.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Teamwork.
All right. I'm never sure about the more farcical and Ortonesque bits of film, which detract from its real world impact. Yet everything is licensed by satire, and who knows if the central plot point might not have inspired the later boss snappings in French workplaces. So yeah, I looked this up. Apparently, this was kind of like a 2000s phenomenon, where in France there was like a couple different boss snappings. One was at Sony France, where the workers trapped the boss in their office because they didn't agree with the severance packages that like a bunch of laid off workers had gotten. And hey, if we're drawing that connection, I love that. I think change needs to be radical and hopefully nonviolent, but
we do not endorse locking your boss in a closet or whatever, though.
Yeah. Well,
I certainly think it's better than murder.
I think so. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Change does need to be radical.
Change needs to be radical.
At best, not violent, because you don't want to get retributive violence.
Yeah.
Of course, we all understand our protest theory. Fuck the boss.
Yes.
What the hell?
I didn't know the French did that.
I love the French.
The
They're crazy
the
like
French
that.
are awesome about labor.
Yeah,
it's true. That is.
Well, they're certainly better than us, but who isn't?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I got for the critics. Let's talk about the impact on the genre. Do we consider it a chick flick? I would. Yeah. It's certainly about women's issues. It's starring women. I think this is a film much beloved by a lot of people. But yeah,
I mean, life changing for women while being funny and relatable and a good movie.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, this was Dolly's first feature film. She went on to do many films, including Steel Magnolias, which we mentioned, Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Iconic.
So it's just really great that this was her first try, and she was great, and she proved herself.
Yep.
And with the song just became, synonymous with her.
Oh
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you asked me to name Dolly Parton songs, this would be the first one I did.
Oh my God. Right.
Even before I saw the movie. I mean, it's fucking 9 to 5.
Yeah, it is. This is, as far as I was able to tell, Jane and Lily's first film together. What a duo!
Certainly,
what a duo.
Certainly, what solidified their partnership.
Yeah. Well, I really went through the IMDb, so I feel comfortable saying that.
Hell yeah.
Cross-referencing.
Yeah.
I didn't know if there was a TV appearance or something like that, but hell yeah. Good for them.
They went on to do Grace and Frankie and 80 for Brady, which Windsor mentioned. I was also there in theaters watching that.
Hell yeah.
And they also did this movie called Moving On recently, which I had never heard of, but
I saw that they were making it.
Oh, great.
It was not as widely released as 80 for Brady.
Sure. Come on, 80 for Brady was great. 2 thumbs up. Yeah, but this is another movie that we're doing about women in the workplace. And yeah, it's also starring 3 women who got very involved in activism. Like Jane Fonda's activism is kind of well known. I was really getting into it. She's so cool.
She's been arrested multiple times.
She's pro Black Panthers and stuff like that.
And was in the 70s.
And was in the 70s.
Yes.
She was contriversial for her left-leaning views. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jane Fonda rocks. If you ever want to read her Wikipedia page,
There's a lot to sift through.
There's a lot to sift through, and you keep being like, what? Oh, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
But Jane Fonda apparently was fired for not sleeping with her boss at one point. So yeah, it's good to see her working on a movie that has that impact and is literally talking about that issue.
Yeah.
And I just think it's really great that we have movies like this that give actors and artists and directors and writers an opportunity to talk about the issues that matter to them. Dolly had some activism, philanthropy, if you will, that kind of started up a little after this movie. And Lily Tomlin, same to her, she's great. Apparently this movie was made, okay, what did I write down here? It was inspired by this group called 9 to 5, the National Association of Working Women.
It's in the credits.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that.
What's up with that? I love that.
Yeah.
I can't believe we have this movie and it's a publicity for this organization that I didn't know existed.
Yeah.
But it was founded in 1973, and it was a group of female office workers started talking about how they were treated at work. Yeah.
Yes.
So important. And to make this movie directly about those issues is so huge. But the founder of this group was Karen Nussbaum. And she was a friend of Jane Fonda's, and I guess their conversations about sexual harassment in the workplace were a direct inspiration for this film. So
sick.
So cool.
It's great.
In 2008 we have the 9 to 5 musical.
I thought it was 2009.
I have 2008, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. Oh, Los Angeles tryout 2008. I see. The cast stacked. I had to pull it up. Allison Janney, Stephanie J. Block, Megan Hilty, Mark Kuddish, and Andy Carl. That is insane.
That's incredible. Megan Hilty?
Yes. I know. Stephanie J. Block and Megan Hilty, both, they played Elphaba and Glinda, but I don't think at the same time because I'm not a wicked person. But I know they both were in it.
Huge. And then there was a 9 to 5 TV show. What's with the working women TV shows?
Workplace comedies, I guess. America always comedies. Wanted them.
Yeah.
Whether or not they were getting them.
Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, this movie was also just a huge win for women in the box office. This movie did 103 million at the box office. Ooh. So it was just we kind of have a movie that is starring women about women's issue that makes money, is popular.
I mean, it's an iconic new Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
For the history of how film developed from then on.
Yeah.
You know, its box office success is important to the history of movies.
Yeah, for sure. It was the second highest grossing film of 1980.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I got. What a movie.
What a movie.
We loved it.
I'm glad we did this one, because this is one that's like, how have you not seen 9 to 5, you know?
Yeah.
How have you not seen that? You have a podcast about chick flicks.
I know people have, or like, you haven't covered that one yet. I'm like, they make a lot of good movies.
They make a lot of freaking chick flicks, man.
Yeah.
I like to save the good ones.
Yeah.
Just so we can do them now.
Yeah,
for real. Okay. Well, that's everything I have. Thank you everyone for watching and listening. Thank you to Atlas Renee for art, Shishkin Productions, Brianna Harley for music. Next week, we'll be watching P.S. I Love You. Follow us on social media, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, and Letterboxd at MFeaturesPod.